Good morning, everybody. We'll start out with a quick prayer, and then we'll try and learn something this morning and hopefully have a little fun. So if you join with me, Father, thank you so much for this time today. We always hope that in the midst of we learn and we teach and we do these things, but really the important thing is, Father, that people get home safe and we can teach somebody to do their job a little safer, maybe something they'll hear keep them from getting in harm's way out there in the field. And maybe help someone else maybe establish some sort of a procedure that'll help the boys be getting home safe. So we want everybody to get home safe to their families. And Father, just thank you so much for what your son did. Without what he did and who he was, I couldn't even pray right now. So thank you for this time. Thank you for your son. And Father, let's just, we got to heal here in this country. So it's always love. Love thy neighbor as thyself. So there's just so much stuff being slung around right now. And we just want to, as a Christian, it's tough. It's not what the old natural John wants to do. But we return hate with love. And Father, then they see the difference in us. And hopefully they might ask a little bit and want to know what's going on. But Father, so let's just less of the hate and more of the love. And less of us and more of you, as the Bible says so. Father, thank you so much for this time again, and all these things I ask and say, according to the will of the one who paid it all, my brother, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite Tuesday game show. It is What's Wrong with That Meter? And now your host, Mr. Art Flash.
Hey, how we doing this morning, folks? I'm so happy to be here. Appreciate it. We're here at What's Wrong with That Meter, and as always, my sidekick and cohort in crime, JP. How we doing, JP?
We're well. How are you?
Good. I'm doing all right. Actually, Mrs. Flash had a little medical emergency, a little scare this weekend. Yeah, so Saturday we have separate bathrooms. I don't need her getting into my product, right, Martin? So I'm not letting her get in my product. So we have separate bathrooms. And actually, I was out of town, had a gig, and so she noticed in the toilet a couple of pennies Saturday. So she just said, okay, I don't know, maybe fell out of my pocket, don't know what the deal is. So anyway, Sunday she noticed in the toilet a couple of nickels. So then yesterday, when she saw a couple of dimes in there, she called up our doctor and told her the story. You know what the doc said, JB?
What's that?
He said, I really wouldn't worry about it, Ms. Flash. It sounds to me like you're just going through the change. Oh, no, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
So let's
not watching.
So let's just go ahead and go over some. This is, although it's what's wrong with my meter, we got a couple of the logistics to go through. So let's knock that out. So on our upcoming schedule, February 16th, we're going to have our final episode. Mother Nature cooperates. We're going to get out there and do a little field testing. So that should be the final episode of What's Wrong with That Meter. And then February 23rd, we're hoping to get out there and get some tests done, and you guys can actually see what we live with out in the field and what we do compared to what we've taught here in these webinars. So we're really looking forward to that. Are you ready? Oh, that boy looks good. All right, so let's meet our contestants for today. You know him, you love him. He's known as the professor of the lifeline to those of us out in the field. Ray Gore. How you doing, Ray?
Yeah, pretty good, Art. Nice.
Good. I'm doing all right today, Ray. Doing all right. And you know him, you love him as well. Our favorite ME, the man with the duct tape and the WD-40, Phil Fishbach. How you doing, Phil?
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
How about that big game, Phil?
Yeah.
Well, I heard, this is just what I heard. Of course, I had my gig. But I heard that there were more Bengal Tigers out there on that field, and it set some kind of a record. Did you hear that?
I think I may have heard that, actually. Yeah.
So did they have this thing, and was it in a football stadium or a Roman Coliseum? I mean, Tigers there, I mean, come on. Lions and Tigers and Bears.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Sounds grizzly. Sorry, they're just rolling off the tongue. They're just rolling off the tongue this morning. And then last but not least, we've got from the frozen tundra up north in Michigan, Joe Childs. How we doing this morning, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Hey, thanks, Art. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I wanted to say I feel very grateful for being selected today.
Oh, man. He already has an A+ on the quiz.
That's right.
So what's the temp up there, by the way, Joe?
Somewhere in tens and teens.
Teens.
Depending on the wind.
Oh. How was it for the big game up there? What was the temp up there for that?
I stayed inside, Art.
I think I heard it was like 0, but then with the wind chill, was it like -14, -15?
It looked very cold.
I think Mrs. Flash might want me to go up there and hang out for a couple of weeks. That way no more little flashes would be running around, you know. That'd be some frozen giblets, if you know what I mean, if I hung out there at -15. That wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good. Well, we're glad to have you this morning. Glad to have you on there, Joe. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's how the game works. We've got 20 multiple choice questions. Most of the time it'll be A, B, C, and D. Sometimes it's just A and B. And then we got a couple of bonus questions, I think, that have been submitted. So we've got, actually, these questions are from our own Steve Hudson. And by the way, thoughts and prayers go out to Steve. His father is not doing well right now. So praying for you, Steve. And also, you know, Steve knowing what he knows, and he's the guy teaching a lot of these classes, we better get ready, because I have a feeling these might be a little on the tough side. But we're going to jump into them anyway. So let's get started with question number 1. The 3 characteristics of AC signals are A, voltage, current, and resistance. B, vector, amplitude, and direction. C, amplitude, frequency, and phase. Or D, fill, ray, and arc. Oh, I see.
Okay.
Does that say characters or characteristics?
Characteristics.
Steve, good one. So what are we thinking?
Well, it's signals. To me, when we're talking signals, that's phase, frequency, amplitude. That's what we're inputting, right? That's what we're looking for, signals.
So Ray says C. Everybody agree with that one?
I'm going to go with D.
I think I'm going to change my answer to D.
Okay. Appreciate that, fellas. And that kind of gets me right there. Kind of tightens up the old turtleneck. But, okay. So what do you say there, JoJo?
I'm going to go with C as well.
So we're going to say either C or D.
Yeah. And the reason
Survey says?
it's amplitude, frequency, and phase is what you'll see on the vectors. And
That's right. Nice one, fellas. So the 3 characteristics of AC signals are amplitude, frequency, and phase. And what Ray's saying, if you think about it, I mean, just think of your vectors. Remember we talked about amplitude and direction, and the direction and where they are, that relates to phase. And then we always have to be concerned with frequency, right? I know if you go somewhere where it's 50 and it's not 60, you better be careful of that.
A and B was actually somewhat the right answer, but he finished it with resistance and direction, so that takes the A and B out of the picture.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You got to watch that 50 versus 60. I'm just telling you. My mom went to England, as a matter of fact. She's from my mom's British, believe it or not.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You don't realize I'm an international kind of guy.
Tea
That,
and trumpets.
Yeah. So she went over there and brought an iron with her and tried to plug it in the old wall, and a hair curler, and actually melted it. So yeah, you got to watch it. That 50 versus 60. All right. So we got.
Nice job.
Yeah, it will. And so most modern loads are A, resistive, B, inductive, C, capacitive, or D, linear.
That's a good bell. He's got
a good one.
Again.
So now I got a dog barking over here with Phil. I got Ray with the hairballs. And what are we going to call that little bleeper thing you got going there? What are we going to say there, Joe?
Let me check the box.
Check the box.
It's just called a bleeper.
A bleeper, I like it. Okay, so the bleeper went off up in Michigan. And what does Michigan say on this one?
I'm going to go with B, inductive.
I'm going to agree with you on that one, Joe. And we've said this many times on those webinars with that goofball they got doing those things. And he said a lot of times, we did have capacitive loads back in the day, but now pretty much everything's inductive. It follows all the motor loads, motors, inductive motors. So yeah, most of the stuff is inductive. And we say that also because it is indicative on the old vectors, right? So we're normally seeing, remember, we're seeing a lagging load, which would be an inductive load. So most of the time we're seeing that that current vector is trailing that voltage vector on the vectors. So yeah, B is right. Nice one, Joe. Question number 3. What is the largest unit of power out of these choices? Milliwatt, gigawatt, megawatt, and kilowatt. Uh-oh. All right. There we go.
That is definitely gigawatt, Art. I've seen the movies, and I know for sure that's gigawatt.
Well,
I mean, if you want to time travel.
If you're on time travel, but I don't know about
Is
that.
it not gigawatts?
I appreciate you getting jiggy with it. But I'm thinking it might be megawatt.
I guess
That's all right.
wrong.
That's
That
right.
was on a movie.
That was on a movie. That's true. That's on a movie.
Well, that's how I knew it was true.
That's true. Call Clemson, get them to send some of that money back. All right, there we go. All right. So the answer is C. Megawatt. And that would be the largest of the 4 choices here. Megawatt would be correct. Harmonics are, we're not talking musical instruments, we're talking about harmonics. Good for meters, used to raise your power factor, hard to measure for modern solid-state meters, created by nonlinear loads. Ray is beeping in. What do you think, Ray?
Well, Art is like this.
Hold on, let me grab a chair.
I think I'm going to look at C.
I'll just sit right over there. What you going to say, Ray?
I'm going to go with C, sir.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with C.
You know, actually, this is just me. I think there could be more than one answer on this one. I'm just saying, because I feel pretty good. Well, what do you guys say? What do you say, Phil? What do you say, Joe?
Well, C does sound pretty good, but I'm going to go with D.
Yeah, I
I'm
would.
going to agree with Joe on D. I think that C, the modern meters are getting better and able to see that, but overall I'm going to go with D on the non-linear loads.
Let's see.
I know for sure that they are created by nonlinear loads. Now, I think we really haven't gotten to the bottom of this whole C thing yet. I mean, I think the jury's still out on the C part of it, so I'm going to go actually C and D because we really haven't gotten to the bottom of the total effects of the harmonics on the solid-state
It's
meters.
hard to measure.
That's right. It's hard to measure, and they're still working on that. That's why, if you know, and the very author of this, Steve Hudson, is on the panels and stuff on committees, he's saying that's why in the future they're looking at maybe testing these nonlinear, crazy-looking sine waves through the meters, and that you have to test them with them because we have to see the effects of it on there. So I think there is some. So honestly, with me, I would say C and D.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 5. Watt hours are calculated from instantaneous watts by A, dividing by 3600, B, multiplying by 60, C, dividing by 60, or D, multiplying by 3600. Ooh.
Instantaneous watts.
Uh-oh. I think I heard one of those aliens pass wind over in Michigan. What's going on? What's happening there, Joe? What do you think?
Art, I'm going to have to go with A here.
You know, Joe, I'm going to have to agree with you on this one because instantaneous watts are in seconds. And when we go from the seconds to hours, of course, 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. So I would say 3,600. Yep, I think so. I believe you're right. Oh, there we go. Cool. So A, dividing by 3,600. Nice. All right. The sign plus or minus of power factor will follow the sign. And before you show the answers, look at what they're saying here, folks. They're saying the sign plus or minus of power factor will follow the sign of. Now, if you remember, once again, that knucklehead they got doing those webinars, he's talked to you before about voltage times current times power factor. And remember what happens when you get negative power factor. All right, let's see the answers. VARs, VA, watts, or joules.
Julie's.
I think we can throw Julie out. She has nothing to do with this. So what do you guys say? A, B, or C?
I'm gonna say. I don't know, Art. I don't know, Art.
Okay, yeah, I'm just the host. What do I know? Okay, I'm just a pretty face.
I don't think Art lies.
No, Art's not known for lying a lot, but okay. So I'm thinking maybe it's C. What do you fellas think? How about you, Joe?
I think it's.
Yeah, I think that was going to be my Michigan guess.
Okay, all right. What you think, Phil?
Well, everybody else is going with it, so I'm going to roll with C, watts. I mean, after all, it is watts wrong with that meter.
Just
I'm
saying.
gonna,
So if we have a negative power factor and we multiply the negative power factor times voltage and current, it equals negative watts, right?
that's VARs.
Right, but I'm saying, no, it equals negative watts. I mean, we're
Yeah,
going to end up
yeah,
with negative
yeah, yeah,
watts.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when we're looking on a test kit, remember, if we come to that the screen where you can hit it and show all the values, the RMS table, it's going to show negative watts.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I think it's we're all in agreement. It is C, watts. Hey,
Watts it is.
that's
Yes.
right. That's right. Somebody.
Joe's doing pretty well up there in Michigan.
I think Joe's going to get to go to sunny Barbados and get out of that freezing
It might be
weather.
cold, but he's got all the right answers.
I'm telling you. All right.
Sounds like a trap.
As soon as they start bragging on you, that's when you go in the toilet, right? That's right. The ratio of primary to secondary current in a current transformer. Oh, just the length of the answer scares me. I'm out. Yeah, whoa. Is directly proportional to the primary to secondary turns ratio. Is inversely proportional to the primary to secondary turns ratio. Is determined by the burden divided by the VA rating. Is equal to the square root of the sum of the squares of turns ratios.
Well, I'm trying to remember which way the math goes there, Art.
All I know is Steve Hudson somewhere right now is having a pretty good laugh at this question right here, number 7. Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Joe, do you have this one?
I'm gonna say.
What you thinking, Joe?
I'm going to say B makes most sense to me.
I agree with Joe. I believe for a current transformer, the rule is B.
I think the way we can think about this is, okay, so let's say I got an 800 to 5 up there, and I've just got one big conductor running through that, right? I think when we're talking about the turns here, I've only got one primary turn literally going through there, but how many turns have I got inside of that CT, and then I'm just connecting on that secondary side and I'm pulling off my 800 to 5 ratio there. So I'm going to say because of the difference in turns, we're talking turns here, I think you can just have one primary turn literally going through that CT, but you got a whole lot of turns on the inside, right?
So what we saying, Art?
I think I'm going to go B.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because that's how you could actually figure the.
Let's ask our studio audience here. What do you think, James?
I don't know, because this is backwards. He's a hardware guy. So
Yeah.
I was going to say A.
All of this is hardware, and I just asked the software guy, and he went, "Yeah, whatever you think." All right, so I'm going to go B.
It's either A or B.
Oh, even a blind pig finds an acre now and then. How about that one? How about
That's
that one?
right. Now, Art, what if it was a potential transform, a
Good
voltage
question.
rather than current?
Nice, good
If
question.
it was voltage, I believe the answer would be A.
I'm with you on that one, buddy. Yes, I am. I like it. I like it.
Directly proportional.
It is directly proportional. Nice one. And That's why we keep them around, folks. You like that extra
Well,
info?
look at this.
Oh, wow.
A secondary.
Whoa, 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 wait a minute.
Key word.
I don't believe in coincidence. Oh,
Whoa, the fix is in.
the fix is in. This is that giant cheating scandal they had on that one game show. I think they made a movie about it. Oh, okay. Uh-oh, here come the headlines. What's wrong with that meter? No, there's been a cheating scandal on what's wrong with that meter.
They still lose, and
That's
right.
they still lose.
They cheat and they still lose. Opening the secondary of a PT will A, cause an arc flash, B, increase your meter bill, D, decrease your meter bill. I mean C, sorry. I wish I could read. C, D, cause the meter to run backwards. Ooh.
I'm not answering this one. Everybody.
Ooh.
You're not answering this one?
No, this is, you should know better.
I'm gonna say here that let's see now. A, no, it's not gonna cause an arc flash. Opening up the secondary of a
Unless
PT.
you're trying.
Yes, you'd have to work it. But I'm not going with A. And D, I'm gonna throw out. Cause the meter to run backwards. So I'm going B or C.
Increase your meter bill, decrease your meter bill.
So let's think about that for a minute. If I got a 4-to-1 PT up there, right?
Yeah.
Which should be,
It's
right?
480 on the
It should
high
be
side.
dropping it down.
And
Right.
120 volts on the low side.
But when
he
you
said opening a second.
the secondary, so now I don't have the feed coming from the PT coming down to my meter anymore, right?
Polyphase.
Right? I don't have any voltage coming down there, so I don't have anything coming down there because my voltage, if it's a 4-to-1, and so I got 480, and I'm transforming it down to 120.
So you're going to be messing a phase voltage, right? So if you're messing a phase voltage because you remove the secondary PT input, then what's going to happen?
What you think,
Sounds
JoJo?
like a good trick to decrease your meter bill.
You're saying C?
I'm saying C.
Yeah. And did you hear what Ray said? That was right on the money. If you decrease if you disconnect that and open up the secondary, then I've got to open. I'm not getting my feed, my voltage feed coming on that one phase, right? So I'm not getting a voltage on a phase. So of course I'm not going to get any watts on that phase because it's what? Voltage times current times power factor. So I wouldn't get anything. I wouldn't get any watts on that one phase. Nice shot, Ray.
Sounds like a good coupon for your bill.
That's right. We can be the meter doctor and just go around opening up PTs for everybody. All right. There was a guy up north there in Michigan that was doing that, right? Right, Joe? We saw him at Glims. Some guy was going around. What is he called? The power doctor, the meter doctor. He would lower people's bills.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he ended up doing so well. He got hurt, didn't he?
He blew his hand off.
Really? Yeah. Blew his hand
Blow
off.
his hand off.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
Good job.
So there were multiple losses at that site.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he
Yes, he did.
Sorry, man. Sorry, fellas, wherever you are. Just kind of poking fun. Okay. That mouth of mine getting me in trouble. Okay, here we go. The dot on a CT, A, indicates polarity. B, indicates the pot side. C, can really mess up your bill if you ignore it. Or D, all of the above.
I'm going to go with D because it indicates polarity. It indicates the pot side because dot to pot, as they say, and can really mess up your bill if you ignore it.
Well, I know one thing. If you're in Michigan, you're definitely going to say at least be on the pot side, right? I'm just saying.
Yes, he did.
I'm just saying. 2 in a row. I'm out of here. Goodbye, Mr. Spalding. So, okay. So I know Joe's going to say at least B, if not all of the above. So what do you think there, Joe? We got indicates polarity, indicates the pot side, and C, can really mess up your bill if you ignore it, or D, all of the above.
I'm going to say it's all of them. I'm going to go with D.
And I think I'm going to have to go with you there, Joe, because we've always said before, dot to the pot, right? We always say that, so that does indicate the pot side, which is actually also polarity. It shows us polarity on that dot. And yes, if you ignore it, then if you make the connections wrong, what we got? Reverse polarity. And we know what happens on reverse polarity. We get those negative watts we talked about on one of the earlier questions. And if you do that on one phase, it negates the watts on another phase, and you're getting shorted on what you're supposed to get paid as a power company. So I love it. D, all of the above. Nice one. Which is newer technology? AMI or AMR?
Should be
AMI is correct. That is correct. AMI is correct.
automated meter reading was first.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. They've said. I know one thing. They've said it before. Those aliens are pretty darn smart. That's all I know. So nice job. Good job there. Oh, and now we get to find out what it stands for. What does AMI stand for? A. Analog Metrological Institute. Is that what that says?
That's what it
Okay.
says.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Looking behind the camera there. Automated Meter Information. C. Advanced Meter Infrastructure. Or D. Art Making Insults. Okay.
I'm not sure that it's not D.
Yeah, no yo mama jokes today. I ain't doing it. No, I'm not gonna get pulled in, pal. You're not pulling me in. You're not pulling me in. You're not pulling me in. Ain't gonna happen.
Let's go with C.
Although, wait, no, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, I'm dying right now to tell one, but I'm not gonna do it. All right, here we go. What are we saying? C, Advanced Meter Infrastructure.
It is correct.
What is it? That's an old. What is that? It's an old Rodney Dangerfield joke. Your mama's so dumb. And you're supposed to go. How dumb is she?
You said you're not going to get sucked in.
I got sucked in. I did, Alvin.
Yes, he did. Again.
What did Rodney say? He says, "I bought her a toy poodle and she killed her trying to put batteries in it." Hey! Advanced Meter Infrastructure. That is absolutely correct. Question number 12. Which service type offers the greatest variety of voltages? I'm just going to say, key is voltages, okay? A 3-wire Y, 4-wire delta, 3-wire delta, or 5-card draw?
Well, that choice D kind of
I don't know.
voltages, 5-card draw.
Yeah, but we play Texas Hold'em around here, so we're not going to go deep. So which do you guys think? Now, variety of voltages.
I'm going to say B
4-wire delta.
because you got a high leg, 208 high leg.
Wow. All I'm going to say is the software guy's nodding his head, so I'm thinking that this has got to be D.
Hardest one to program. That's
Oh, sweet. It doesn't matter how you get the right answer as long as you get the right answer. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but James said it's the hardest one to program because I got all these options I got to put in there. So we're going to go 4-wire delta. Oh, that's right. 4-wire delta. That's exactly right. So you can get a variety of voltages there. 120, 208, 240. That was good. I love that. I mean, all right. However it gets you there, just get there. A Q-hour meter measures. Now, the old Q-hour meters, some folks still use them out there. It's kind of unusual, but you might see a Q-hour meter out there.
That's old school.
That is old school, baby. Boy, you better know your angles on that one, on a Q-hour meter. Okay, so we got a Q-hour meter measures A watts, B VA, C VARs, or D power factor.
I'm going to say it's VARs or power factor.
VARs or power factor.
Yeah.
So it's either C or
pick
D.
one.
You got it? Yeah,
Well,
it's kind of the way we play the game, Ray. You got to pick one. So,
choice, not multiple answer.
hey, from behind the screen, the voice. Don't look behind the curtain at the great and powerful Oz. Yeah, we don't know. Okay. So I would say either the software guy is saying C or he's got a cramp. And so he's showing us a C with his hand over there. So I'm also going to go with that. I'm going to say VARs.
it's VARs.
I believe it's C as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got James is on VARs, Phil's on VARs, Ray's on
Nation gets
VARs.
right again. I tell you
I'll
what,
tell you what.
we only got a few questions left, and that trip to Barbados is
It's
looking
looking
good
good.
for Michigan.
You can get out of those teens, baby, and head over to Barbados. All right, so we got C, bars is the correct answer. All right, question number 14. As burden goes up, and we know what is burden resistance, Think of that. So as the resistance or burden goes up, A, CT accuracy goes down. B, CT accuracy goes up. C, CT accuracy doesn't change. Or D, CT accuracy is optimized. Once again, let's reference the knucklehead on the webinars. And remember that he says a lot of times what are the two enemies of CTs? Temperature and burden, right? So if you put too much resistance on them, it's bad. And if they get too hot, it's bad.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to go with A.
Yes,
the CT
sir.
actually goes down. What you think, Joe?
That's absolutely it.
Hey,
Well, if Joe says so, then I'm going with it.
yeah, we better go with what Joe says.
Boom! A. And that's what we say, right? The two enemies of CT's accuracy are
He's killing it.
burden or resistance and temperature. You don't want to get them too hot up in those pad mounts, so you got to watch where you put them in there. Try and do the best you can. But also, if you put too much burden on them, right?
Yeah.
So, and how can you do that? Too small a wire, too far away, running too long a runs of wire. All of those things just add resistance, or when we refer to CTs, that's burden.
Yes,
So,
yes, sir.
good deal. Let's go to question number 15. I hear about this. All right, the rating factor of a standard CT, we know what a rating factor is, right? Goes up as temperature goes up, goes down as temperature goes up, isn't affected by temperature, is a lot better than...
Oh!
You know, those insults might just start coming out a little bit now. All right, Steve, that was a shot. That's okay. The rating factor of a standard CT. Now, if you've seen the nameplate on a CT, it actually says, right, it'll say rating factor at, and it'll give you a temperature.
Yes.
That's right, right? So, I think
Temperature is the enemy of CTs.
listen to him. He's working it through, folks. He's working it through.
He's working it.
Hold
Work
on a
it,
minute.
work it.
Work it.
Go ahead.
Work it. Come on, you can
know
do
it,
it.
sir. You know it. Work
I'm
it.
gonna go.
He's going for the duct tape. He's going for the duct tape.
You got it.
Boom, bing. Woo. Goes down as temperature goes up. Bingo. Boom. Nice. Nice job, Tiger. Nice job, Tiger. Tiger, stick together. Nice job.
Joe told me what to say.
I'll just tell you what to say. Oh, you feeding them answers over here, Joe? Okay, goes down as temperature goes up. It goes all into what we were just saying. Temperature is the enemy of these things, but on top of that, we know that you can see right there on the nameplate, it'll tell you, here's the accuracy at this temperature. And you notice as that temperature goes up on the nameplate, the accuracy goes down. So, yep, we're going to go with B. Question number 16. When a CT can produce any more magnetic field because of too much current, it is called
Dead Jim.
load limit, CT current fault, magnetic limit, or saturation. What you think, Joe?
I'm gonna go with the whispers and say saturation.
Oh, I didn't think you could hear me. All right, I was getting in the mood of it. All right, I'm sorry. It just sounded like an old tune to me. Saturation.
Oh, I didn't think it was you.
Oh, yeah, it was me. Yeah, everybody talks like this over at Knoxville, Joe.
It was me.
Yeah. Sorry, let's talk more like they do up there where you are. Yeah, John, it's saturation, John. All right, then. Okay, so we're going to go D, saturation. And we've talked about this before. When a CT can't produce any more magnetic field because it's too much current. What happens when you get a lightning strike up there, right? Oh, and it spikes on you up there? Saturation, that's right. And that's where some folks demagnetize. They do different things on that, but typically, yeah, it's not good. Yes, sir. It's not too good.
With the 7 series.
You can demag it with a what's a 7 series?
Oh, sorry, Art. I thought you knew what I said.
Am I auditioning for that series? Because I'd like to be on there. Hey, Art's always looking for another gig. All right, then. So,
You the man. You the man.
so we're going to go D, saturation. Correct. Question number 17. Using undersized wire in a transformer-rated meter installation, we kind of talked about this a minute ago. Using undersized wire in a transformer-rated meter installation can cause too much CT burden, result in voltage drop at the meter terminals, cause overheating and possibly fire, or D, all of the above.
Hey, Art, he coughed, so I think he knows.
Oh, I think he does. That's
Yeah.
right. All right.
From the studio
What you got, Phil?
audience?
What you got, Phil? Oh, I thought. Oh, you.
Oh, it was
Oh,
James
okay.
with James.
It's like the Astros. You know?
Okay. Oh, no, that's choked, not cough. That's right. Oh no, he didn't.
Yes, you did.
That's right. Well, Steve's been picking on me with these things. I'm sorry. I'm a little sensitive. Sorry. So, what you think, James?
Well, I know the answer. I need to let them answer.
Oh, no, go ahead.
D.
D.
Get in there.
Yes,
James.
indeed. Way to go, James. So that would be true because we just got through saying it is going to put burden on there, right, by going undersized wire. But then when you run that undersized wire, you're going to get a voltage drop, right? And then obviously if it starts heating up and gets hot because you run too small a wire, we all know this, basic electricity, then you're going to get some overheating and hopefully not, but possibly a fire. D, nice job. Way to go, James.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Question number 18. The 3 typical tests run in a phantom load are. We shouldn't even have to show this.
Yeah, we
That's
shouldn't
all
have
right.
to.
That's
We
all right.
shouldn't have to.
But they probably fell asleep with that knucklehead doing those webinars, so they didn't hear it. So the 3 typical tests run in a phantom load are A, and I'm going to go ahead and say what these are: full load, power factor, light load. B, full load.
P load.
P load, power load.
Low power?
Yeah. LP.
I think
A record? Isn't that a record? Isn't that a record? LP? Is it LP?
It could be gas.
That's right. That's right.
That's why it's so dangerous.
Exactly. Or if you listen to me talk a long time like this, you will get gas. All right. So we got C, CT, PT, IT, or D, TR, SC, and PF.
So that's transformer rated self-contained power factor.
That's right on the bottom one.
Huh.
So the 3 typical tests run in a phantom load are. Go for it, Phil.
Well, I've considered all the options here, and I really like transformer rated, self-contained, and power factor, but I'm going to go with A.
Okay. I'm glad you changed it at the end there, Phil, because we were all going.
How'd you going, didn't I?
Yeah.
You're arguing.
I noticed everyone in the room started leaning forward a little bit like, really? Okay. Even James was leaning in going, what do we let that guy work on around here?
Well, I got hit by the gigawatts.
I know, that's
And ever
true.
since then,
Well, that's okay.
you know.
That's okay.
Giga's got it.
That's all right. Those gigawatts, you gotta want them. That's
Gigawatts,
fine.
man.
That's
Gigawatts.
fine. Yep. So so we've always said full load, power factor, light load. That's exactly right. So we know full load is usually what says right on the nameplate of the meter. According to IEEE Nancy, they say go ahead and use that, right? Which is the so if it says on there, 20 amps, then you'd run 20 amps. If it runs 2.5 amps, you'd run 2.5 amps. So if it says 2.5A for the full load TA, then that's what you're going to use. You use 2.5 amps on a transformer rated meter. And then power factor, of course, for us, when we do our testing, we set that at 0.5, which we always relate power factor to those vector angles, and that's a really bad one. That's 60 degrees. That's wide open. If you see that on the test kit, back up and try and figure out what's wrong. Because you can't live with that. You'll lose half of your money every time, right? When you multiply that 0.5, you'll end up with half the watts. So you'll lose your shorts on that one. And then light load is always 1/10 of the full load. So if you're running 2.5 on the full, you'll run 0.25 on the light load. All right, nice job, fellas. Way to go, Phil.
I had you going, didn't I?
Yeah, I was leaning. You had me leaning. I'll admit,
It's
you
okay.
had me
I had
leaning.
the fish on the line.
You had me
I'm
leaning.
okay.
Oh yeah, you were just setting the drag then. That's all you were doing. That was nice. What is the best way to determine CT secondary burden? Ooh, now wait a minute.
I already know.
What is the best way to determine CT secondary burden? So what it's saying here is you're going to determine how much.
With
Right?
3 series.
Oh.
Preach it. All right, so here we go. So let's go ahead and go. A, added burden test. B, admittance test. C, ratio test. Or D, direct burden measurement. I'm thinking Ray drilled it with D, and yeah, there's a company out there I think that makes the only piece of test equipment out there doing that. But yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, you can actually measure the burden, right? And that's what they're saying here. You're not going to just add to something you don't know and hope it doesn't go over a number and say, well, as long as it doesn't go squirrely when we get to about 2 or 3 or 4, ohms. But if you think about that, if it's 0.5 is supposed to be your number, 4 ohms is 8 times that. I don't think you can live with 8 times the resistance on there. It might not be shutting anything down, but I can assure you, you're losing money. And none of us want to be doing that, right? So I'm going to go with D as well, and nice job, Ray. It would be
Ray,
direct burden measurement.
Yeah, 3 series.
Question number 20.
So Art, on
Go.
this last question, if Joe gets this, does he win the trip?
Yeah, Joe wins.
You know, actually, I've been tallying everything up, and it's just come down to that. If Joe gets this one right, he may be going to Barbados.
Okay.
So question number 20.
One-way trip?
One-way trip. That's right.
Which is just fine with Joe.
Just fine with Joe when it's in the teens up there in Michigan. That's right. What
I
power?
want you to use a different name, though.
The what?
I want you to use a different name, though.
Yeah. Nice.
That's right.
Nice. What power quality issue features a periodic signal? Ooh. Sags, swells, transients, or harmonics. So what power quality issue features a periodic signal? All right, so that means it's going to repeat, right? So I thought I heard the old alien ate the burrito again. What you got there, Joe?
I'm going to say it's harmonics.
Ah, very nice.
You're right.
I believe he's right because it's going to follow that sine wave, right, which is repeating. So it's actually a function of that. So I would go with D as well. So I think someone's going to Barbados. Yay! Very
Barbados
nice.
it is.
Woo! Better get that passport polished up, big boy. All right, looks like D, harmonics.
Already packed.
Already packed. He's already packed. That's a confident man right there. Now, I think actually we had a couple of bonus questions this time from old Steve, didn't we?
Oh.
Bonus question number 1. The most beautiful color in the world is A. Oh, here we go. Nice one. Big orange, burnt orange, cleansing orange, purple and gold with an orange tint.
I know the answer to this one.
And I feel pretty confident what you're going to say.
I'm pretty sure it's C.
I'm
pretty sure it's C.
I felt like you were going to go that way, Phil. Don't know why.
I kind of feel like, but you're going to say it's D.
He's going to say it's D.
I
But
guess
Steve wrote the question.
that's right.
So it
Steve's
might
gonna
be
say
It
A.
might be A.
It might be A.
The reason why I would go D on this one is so that everyone can feel the love. We got purple, gold, and orange. So I think I would go with that one so we're all pulled in. That's why I would go
I
D.
see.
Not just the purple and gold part. If it didn't have the orange tint, but yeah, pulled everybody in with the
We
orange
pulled
tint.
everybody in all together.
So did we actually have a right answer on this one? Did he really?
It is.
Did he really?
He did say.
Okay. Well, clearly he forgot about that. Clearly he forgot about that football season. He's concentrating on basketball. All right. Okay. All right. And that's fine. That's fine. Oh, did he really go there? Arte reminds me of the possibility that there are aliens among us. Yeah, if you were going to cover yourself up as an alien, you probably could. When my pet possum Lester got into the Clorox bleach. You know, I'm going to stop here for a second. How many of us actually had a pet possum? That's all I'm going to say. So I think we've seen into the world of Steve Hudson.
Well, you know, Art, if you're from Louisiana, maybe you did.
Oh, they weren't pets, pal. We ate them. So we might.
No, livestock.
Yeah. We were possum ranchers. We weren't pet owners. We were ranchers at that point. That's all I'm telling you. So
That's
we
good.
eat the possums. That's right.
That's good.
We actually eat armadillos down there. That's possum on the half shell.
Yes, he
Yes, he did. Thank you very much. So then C is lemon-flavored cotton candy at the Tennessee Valley Fair. Okay.
Oh, that's
Then the last time Steve Hudson opened a live CT. Actually, if you think about it, D could be an answer. I'm just saying. I think that would light you up like a Christmas tree. So yeah, we would say D.
That's good.
That's a good one right there. I like
That's
that.
good, yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it is D. Good. And I'm sure he heard a loud humming sound just before his hair blew up. And he got the due.
Just for a little minute there.
Just a little minute there.
I was a little touchy on that one.
So we'll just, once again, the upcoming schedule, February 16th is the final episode of What's Wrong with That Meter. Hopefully, if Mother Nature cooperates, we're going to try and get out there around the 23rd of that week and get some field testing done. If Mother Nature doesn't, trust me, that is number one on our list right now to get that done. But unfortunately, the weather around here hasn't been cooperating. So we will get out there, and when we do, we can't wait to show you some live stuff that coordinates and coincides with what we have been doing here on these benches. So we're going to do that. And don't forget, if you want to set up something, some particular training, please give us a holler, and we'll be more than happy to do that. So is there anything else, JP?
He has a thumbs up.
Oh,
thumbs
That
up.
sounds good.
Thumbs up from JP.
Can't see you back there, JP. Okay. Lost my X-ray vision after that accident. Okay, so I just want to thank everybody. Yeah, too many gigawatts got me. I just want to thank you guys. Actually, we really appreciate you guys joining up and watching this morning. And hopefully you learned something as well as had fun like we do. But anyway, y'all just be careful out there, all right? We need everybody making it home to their family. So be careful out there, both at work and away from work right now.
And thanks to Joe, and enjoy his trip to Barbados.
Yeah, unbelievable. Nice job, Joe. You are the big winner. And so Joe's going to lovely Barbados.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to have you on, brother. And thanks, JP, for making this thing happen. And everybody, like I said, please make it home safe and be careful out there. God bless y'all.